Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Amirah Sofieyana Binti Atan. My metric number is 2412760 and I'm from Group 2. In this video presentation, I will explain my individual contribution to my group written paper. The project that we choose is Understanding Approaches to Localizing Responsible Consumption and Productions SDG 12 among IIUM students. My contribution in this project is focusing on the finding and discussion, where I analyze the survey data collected from IIUM students and discuss what the result mean in the relation to SDG 12. In this presentation, I will clearly explain my conceptualizations, my thought process, the area I contemplated, and the specific part that I wrote, which is finding and discussions. My conceptualization of this study was to understand the relationship between awareness, daily practices, and challenges that related to responsible consumption among IIUM students. I structured the finding by first examining students' awareness and understanding of SDGs, then analyzing the actual consumption practices, and finally identify challenges and institutional factors that influence their behavior. This approach allowed me to see whether a high awareness of SDG 12 truly translate into responsible consumption practices in students' daily life. Next, I will explain my thought process. When analyzing the survey result, my thought process involved looking for patterns and inconsistencies across the responses. I compare questions that show a strong positive behavior, such as avoiding food waste, with a question that show a weaker behavior, such as reducing single-use plastic and considering environmental impact when purchasing products. Instead of only reporting numbers, I focus on explaining why these differences exist by linking it to the factors such as students' daily routine, convenience, and available facilities. While discussing the finding, there are several key areas that I contemplated. These included the gap between awareness and actual practices, convenience as the major challenge to sustainable behavior, the availability of facilities such as recycle bin and water refill station, the role of incentive and stronger promotion in encouraging participations among IIUM students. These areas help me explain why students may support sustainability in principle, but they are still struggle to practice it consistently in daily life. The finding based on 50 respondents from IIUM students, and the survey question was divided into 4 sections. Section A talk about awareness and understanding, Section B talk about daily consumption practice, Section C about campus support and challenges, the last section is about improvement and engagement. The respondents have to choose whether they strongly agree, disagree, or strongly disagree with the statement. So the first section is Section A, which focuses on awareness and understanding of IIUM students. There are 2 survey questions in this section. The first question is asked about whether the students are aware of the SDG, and all respondents responded positively. Either they strongly agree or agreed. This clearly shows that IIUM students generally know about SDG, likely through educations, social media, and awareness campaign. Next, question 2 is tested students' understanding of responsible consumptions and productions, which is SDG 12. Most respondents, again, show a positive response. However, unlike question 1, there are a small number of students disagree with the statement. This indicates that while awareness is high, but deep understanding is not equally strong. In simple terms, students may know about SDG or SDG 12, but they may not fully understand how to apply it in their daily life. Next, we move on to the section B, which analyzes the daily consumption practices. In this section, there are 4 survey questions. The first question in this section is related to avoiding food waste. All respondents choose it, strongly agreed or agreed. This show a very strong positive habit among IIUM students, especially in places like cafe or mahala. I interpreted this as a routine-based behavior that students are already familiar with. However, when we look at question 4, which focused on reducing single-use plastics, the responses were more mixed up. Many students disagree with the statement, showing that plastic reduction is hard for them to practice consistently due to the convenience. Convenience often limits sustainable behavior even when students are aware of environmental issues. For the next question, it related to recycling and waste separations. The majority of the students responded positively when facilities are provided in IIUM. This shows that the responsibility grew when the recycle facilities are available from them. For the last question for the section B is whether students consider environmental impact when purchasing products. Here the responses were again mixed, with majority students disagreeing to the statement. This shows that environmental concern is not always be a priority for them during purchasing decision, especially when convenience or price became the more important to them. Moving to the section C, which focus on barrier regarding SDG 12. So in this section, there are 3 survey questions. So the first questions ask about whether IIUM provides sufficient facility to support responsible consumptions. Majority students felt that IIUM does not provide sufficient facilities such as recycle bins or water refill stations. This explains why some students still rely on single-use plastic bottles, mainly to the convenience. Limited facilities can directly reduce sustainable behavior. For the next questions, ask about the lack of awareness are major challenges in practicing responsible consumptions, and the finding indicates that majority of the respondents strongly agree to the statement that the lack of awareness is the major challenge. Even when facilities exist, students may not use them effectively if they do not fully understand the importance of having sustainable environment. The last questions ask about convenience is the barrier that prevents from practicing responsible consumption consistently, and majority students agree with it, show that convenience is a significant barrier, reinforcing the idea that sustainability practices must be easy and accessible in order to be consistent. Lastly, question number 10 in section D, the last questions for the survey questions. It focused on student willingness to participate in sustainability initiatives. The results show a very strong agreement among the students, indicating that students are open and willing to practice responsible consumption if incentive or stronger promotions are provided to them. This finding allow me to discuss how institutional encouragements such as reward or campaigns can significantly improve participations among IIUM students. Before I end my presentation, to conclude, my findings and discussion show that IIUM students have a high awareness of SDG 12 through education, social media, and campaign. They practice sustainability well in areas like food waste and recycling. However, a single-use plastic, purchasing behavior, convenience, and limited facilities remain as a key challenges to the students. Overall, my discussion highlight that awareness alone is not enough. A stronger facilities, better education, and incentive are necessary to turn awareness into consistent sustainable behavior. That's all from me. Thank you for watching. Assalamualaikum.